Hi, my name is Hal Funderburk, and my lesson was created for my Audio Video Tech and Film 2 class. This lesson is centered around creating public service announcements to raise awareness on a particular issue. For this lesson, students will work in groups of 4 to write, shoot, and edit a 30-second PSA on the dangers of prescription drug abuse. Students will then upload their videos to YouTube for submission to a PSA contest. The content standards that the students will demonstrate during this lesson are script writing and storyboard creation while working collaboratively as a group. They will demonstrate advanced editing operations as well as proper lighting techniques and field equipment operation. The technology standards they will use will be to display creativity and innovation based on applying existing production knowledge to generate a new and original product. They will work together to solve problems through the creation process. Students will also demonstrate the ability to identify and define problems through the production process and develop solutions. The tools used during this lesson are as follows. Students will first access the project blog using Blogger, where they will find many resources needed for this project. Students will go to Adobe Story and create a free account so they may access its script writing capabilities. Using Adobe Story, the students will create dialogue, action, and scene descriptions for this PSA. Students will also use Adobe Premiere Pro for video editing. This editing suite is professional-grade software that many students will not have access to at home, so we will keep all editing in-house for this project. They will upload all video into a new project and edit the final product, including music, images, and computer graphics as needed. They will export a final product that is ready for the web. Students will also use YouTube for video submission. Once they have submitted their videos to YouTube, they will use our Google Drive form and submit their URL to the blog for class access. Once students have shared their hard copy of their scripts and their URLs for their videos, then they are ready to move on to the final step, which is blog comments. Each student is required to provide a meaningful and insightful comment to another group's video. Differentiation will happen a few ways. First, students will be grouped based on availability. The biggest issue for many students is after-school availability, and since some students are opting to shoot away from campus, then I will let those students work together. Other students who need to work at school only will be grouped together as well. All students are proficient with skill sets that we will be using. However, I do like to make sure that they are all getting equal work, so they will all be responsible for different aspects of this project. For example, one student will be the main scriptwriter. Another will be the director and camera person. Another will be responsible for the storyboard. And finally, the main editor. Since editing is the longest process, we have an equitable time-share process that allows all students adequate editing time. For the few students that are IEPs, I will use the daily log formative assessment to make adjustments to the workload for them as necessary. Here we have my main assessment that I use to evaluate the overall product based on the elements of creating an effective PSA. Since lighting is so new, that is the one aspect that I leave off of the rubric until we have had more work with it. I also use a few checkpoints along the way to make sure we are on schedule. As you can see here, I have the first few days broken down based on where we should be and when we should be there. Here's the daily log I use for formative assessments to make sure that the students are making progress. I think the script writing aspect went the best. The students really had a good handle of very sensitive subject matter and showed maturity through the process. We did discover that Adobe Story was not collaborative and only one person could be logged in to work on it at a time. So students opted to write a rough draft in Google Drive collectively and then put the final product in Adobe Story. In the future, I'll try to make sure we have a more functioning collaborative way to write scripts using Google Drive so the students can work together away from school. I also think that some students tried to bite off more than they could chew in the production phase during filming. Some students tried to get a little too creative with lighting and it kind of backfired, but that was the newest element that we learned before this project, so it's understandable that that could happen. Next time, I would consider emphasizing 1 or 2 lighting styles for the students to concentrate on only. In the future, I would like to offer more PSA options to the students so they can choose from other topics. The subject matter was great, but a variety of topics would allow us to do more storytelling options, which might benefit the students more. I would also like to have someone come speak with my class whom we've made a PSA for in the past so they could share the impact of what these PSAs can really do for a great cause.